we are going to make Ratatouille. We had just watched the movie and the kids were asking what the dish tastes like, and we thought, you know what a great opportunity. So what I'll do is I'll put the full recipe down below so that you can kind of reference that and then base it off how many people in your family and what you need. So the basic ingredients are going to be 2 eggplants, 6 Roma tomatoes, 2 squash, 2 zucchini. My kids aren't a really big fan of eggplant, so we opted out of the eggplant. Other things you're also going to need is some olive oil, some onion, some cloves of garlic, so a red pepper, a yellow pepper, salt, pepper, a can of crushed tomatoes, and then some basil. Now as we go through, I'll remind you about some of this, and again, if you need a recipe list, down below I will put the link to the recipe that we used. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, rinse off all your vegetables, get them all ready to go. And then what we're going to do is go in and we're going to slice now if you're using eggplant, we'll slice the eggplant, tomato, and squash and zucchini to approximately 1/16 of an inch. And you want to leave them in their round state like this. And then don't forget to go ahead and start by preheating the oven to 375 while we're doing all of this prep work. And as we're cutting everything up, we're kind of just talking to the kids about safety. We're also stacking all these vegetables just off on one whole corner because we are going to be using them a little bit, and actually we're going to put these in a bowl. I think my younger one might think that these are cucumbers and we just don't want her to start eating on them until we're ready. So we're going to go ahead and just put these in a bowl, but again, just place them all off on the side, get them all cut, and they don't have to be perfect. But the nice part is right now it's farmer season. You know, we've got all the farmers markets coming, and so how fun is that you could go and, you know, get some of these items, and they're not horribly expensive. I want to say the dish for the full items cost us around $12, so not horrible. So we're going to go ahead and get everything all sliced up, and then our next step is we're going to start to create the sauce. Alright, so let's go ahead and start creating the sauce. So what we're going to do is we will eventually take this to the stove. So we'll need to have a 12-inch oven safe, or we actually just used a regular saucepan. And just go ahead and add a little olive oil and get it lightly heated. Put it maybe on like a medium or a low heat. During that time, we're going to go ahead and we are going to get all the rest of the items prepped. So for us, we're going to go ahead and dice one of the onions. Now, we decided to only use 3 out of 4 cloves of garlic, but they're really up to you. So you're going to go ahead and get that all together, and we're putting all of this just in that clear bowl. And then we couldn't find large peppers, so we ended up using the smaller red and yellow peppers, but we're going to go ahead and dice those all up. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're going to go ahead and take this over to the stove. And I just have to say, for color presentation alone, this dish was absolutely gorgeous to look at. The kids were really excited about it because they do love a lot of vegetables. Although this dish is very much a vegetarian dish. My kids aren't used to just eating like that. So some of the suggestions that we kind of read about online were that you may want to have some turkey, you know, ground up turkey hamburger kind of stuff, like put together, cook it up. And then you could go in and put that as one of the bottom layers. You could go in and make up pasta noodles. Some people use this only as a side dish to another piece of, you know, meat or something else to the dish. My husband and I talked about it and we thought, you know what, it'd be really good with like a chicken breast and some sauce. It really just depends on what your favorite tastes are. If you love vegetarian, this might be the perfect dish for you. And I'll be honest, it tasted great. So I can't wait for you to see it. So I just wanted to take a moment again as we're about halfway through. We're getting ready to make the sauce. We've got all the stuff prepped. So the next step, we're going to go ahead and we sauteed the vegetables. And I apologize, I thought I had that on record and I didn't. Go ahead and just put the vegetables in, cook it for a little while, so about 10 minutes. Once they are sauteed or at least soft, go ahead and add some salt, and then we just added that can of the crushed tomatoes. Basically you want to give it about 2 minutes, just kind of cook it through, and then once it's done, it's going to be time to create. Alright, now we're ready for the fun part. Now you get to go ahead and put all of this together. Now, warning, the pan and the sauce could be a little warm, so just be careful if you have kids helping you. Our kids went, washed their hands, came back, and they were ready to help us. They were really excited about this. Now for my demo today, I'm just going to have my husband do it, but the kids did actually help with the full dish itself. So, my suggestion, when you go in and you put the vegetables in, make sure that you put as many of them in as possible. So if you could figure out how to squeeze them all together and get them all in there, do it. They'll cook just fine. I've looked online and there are recipes where people have them so tightly packed that they're almost vertical, which cooks just fine from what I've read. Now, you can see when we did it, when we first started off, I'm like, I think we're going to have way too many vegetables for what we're making. And I was right. So we kind of ended up having to squeeze them all together. So we lived and learned. But again, just rotate the pattern. They'll all cook together because when we're done, we're actually going to be cooking this for an additional amount of time. So go ahead and keep stacking that pattern. And I would suggest that you do them in an alternating pattern. It works really well. And then don't forget to put some salt and pepper on them before we go ahead and take them actually to the stove to cook. Now, you might also want to make an herb seasoning, which is optional if you want to. Some people really like it, but you don't have to. If you want to make that up, basically you take a small bowl and you're going to mix together just a little bit of basil, some garlic, some parsley, some thyme, some salt, pepper, and then a little bit of olive oil, and then you just sort of season that over the top of the vegetables. My kids aren't very big on tons of sauces, so we kind of skipped out on that part, but we did put in all the extra spices and garlic and everything into the homemade sauce that we made. once you had that all ready to go and you can see how beautiful it looks, we just cut out some tin foil in a circle because we were using a circular pan, and we went and put it on there nicely. And then as we went to walk it to the stove, we realized we didn't put the extra salt and pepper, again, because we didn't make the herb seasoning that the recipe has. Again, the recipe is down below, so if you need that, go ahead and print that off. It really helped us. Again, don't forget to subscribe while we're doing this. Down in the bottom right hand corner, just click that. We'd love to have you come back and join us again. I can't wait to show you how this looks when it's done. It was really good. So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to walk this right on over to the stove. And we're going to go ahead and put it into the stove, and we're going to cook it or bake it, I'm sorry, for 40 minutes. And then we're going to uncover it, so take that foil off. And then we're going to cook it for another 20 minutes. So it's about 60 minutes. So this is one of those side dishes. Make sure you prep with enough time so that you're not expecting this to be done in 15 minutes and you got another 45 to go. Alright, here is the moment of truth, and let me just tell you, it smelled amazing. So some people serve it as the hot main dish. You may want to have it with some hamburger or with some other kind of meat or pasta noodles, but let me tell you, the smell was amazing, and the taste even better. Now, I have picky eaters. They don't like a lot of vegetables. You know, what kid loves them, right? Some do. Most don't. But my kids actually ate a ton of it, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I was just like, if this is what it takes, awesome. So you may want to try it. It's a lot of fun, super easy to do. And again, thank you so much for watching with us. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you here at Jessica Lynn Original Studios. We will see you all again. I'll put some Disney videos for you down below if you'd like to watch more of our content. Take care, everybody, and have a great day.